Hey guys, this is Kevin from Crystal Quest. Today, we're going to be installing our brine tank onto our whole house water softener. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, it's Kevin with Crystal Quest. If you haven't already, go check out our other video on how to install your control head onto your media tank. But now, we're going to focus on this install. First step is we're going to get our tank out of our way, and we can pull out all the components we're going to need. Let's go ahead and open up our bag. Inside of here, you'll find your compression nut, your ferrule, your tubing spacer, and a screen. You'll also have an extra compression elbow that you won't need unless anything happens to the one already installed on your float switch. Also, you'll need to grab your tubing out of your brine tank. All you'll need for this install is a good pair of pliers. Let's go ahead and start by taking off the cap of your injection port, if there's one on there. Once we get our cap off, we can go ahead and set it on the side, and we'll get our tubing ready for the install. First, let's put our compression nut around our tubing. Next, we're going to get our ferrule and put the thicker end towards the compression nut. Next, we'll get our tubing spacer and slide it inside of our tubing. And lastly, we're going to get our screen and push it inside of that spacer. Now that we've got all our pieces on our tubing, let's go ahead and put our tubing on our control head. This is as simple as making sure your tubing is all the way in the injection port and tightening on the compression nut around it. Once you get it snug, push the tubing back all the way, get your pair of pliers, and tighten the nut around it to make sure your tubing is secure. Now that we've got our tubing installed on our control head, we can go ahead and install the other end into our brine tank. When you take off the cap to your brine tank, inside you're going to see a clear cylinder, and inside of that you're going to see a float switch, and that's what we're going to be hooking up this tubing to. First, before we can get our tubing into our brine tank, we're going to have to disconnect the top part of our compression elbow on top of our float. Once you disconnect the elbow, inside you'll find another tubing spacer that we're going to need for the install. And we'll just put it in this side of the tubing, just like the other side. Now that that tubing spacer is in, we can go ahead and start this nut back on the compression elbow inside of our brine tank. Everything should go together super easy now. All we have to do is slide our tubing into that end of the compression nut and tighten it around our tubing. And to finish off the job, if you see in the bottom of your tank, you'll find one more smaller black cap that will go on top of that cylinder inside of your tank. And finally, we can put our large cap on top of the brine tank. A few things to take note of. Your tank won't come with any salt or water in it. So during your initial installation, you're gonna have to fill up your brine tank about halfway to 3/4 full of salt, and then you're gonna have to fill it up with water to about 1 inch over your salt level. And there you have it. You successfully installed your brine tank onto your water softener system. If you have any questions that we didn't address in this video, feel free to leave a comment below, call us, or visit us at crystalquest.com. Thank you.